In today's video, we're going to discuss another leading figure of the Renaissance, Raphael, who was a highly praised artist during his lifetime. Raphael gained recognition at a very young age, and he received numerous important commissions for frescoes, portraits, and religious paintings. With his great reputation, he, together with Da Vinci and Michelangelo, became the trinity of great masters of the High Renaissance. He was also labeled the Prince of Painters due to his talent and skill in his early works. Although his artistic life was filled with great achievements, his journey was not without challenges. Raffaello Sanzio, generally known as Raphael, was born on March 28, 1483 in Urbino, Italy. Raphael's father, Giovanni Santi, was a respected court painter for Federico da Montefeltro, the Duke of Urbino and a renowned art enthusiast. His mother, Magia, came from a noble family and she played a supportive role in Raphael's early life. Although Urbino was a small town, it was a flourishing center of art and learning during the Renaissance. So it was no surprise that Raphael was exposed to many collections of art and creativity from an early age. His father Giovanni also influenced and trained Raphael himself, where he learned basic painting techniques, composition, and color mixing. Later on, tragedy struck Raphael's life. His mother passed when he was 8 and then his father at the age of 11, leaving him orphaned at a young age. After his father's death, Raphael, along with his uncle, took over his father's workshop. During this time, Raphael continued to sharpen his skill and techniques with the help of another artist, Timoteo Fitti. Later in his late teens, Raphael got the chance to gain an apprenticeship from Pietro Perugino, a renowned Italian artist of the Umbrian school, where he received a deep knowledge of perspective, color theory, and composition. During his apprenticeship, Raphael developed his own unique painting style, which can be seen in his works like Mount Crucifixion, The Three Graces, Vision of a Night, and The Marriage of the Virgin. Later in the year 1500, Raphael received his first commission from Andrea Baronci to make an altarpiece dedicated to Saint Nicholas of Tolentino. Although the artwork was damaged during an earthquake in 1789, it was widely recognized as a masterpiece of its time, and it made a significant step in his journey to becoming a renowned artist. In 1504, Raphael left Perugino's apprenticeship and moved to Florence to widen his experience in contemporary painting. It was in this period that Raphael experienced an artistic transformation and growth by learning the works and techniques of Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Raphael imitated both of their techniques, especially Da Vinci in composition, gesture, and innovative techniques of color blending and contrasts between light and shadow to perfection. He also learned to broaden his figures and to focus more on anatomy. Soon, he began to formulate his own style, perfecting the ideals of form, beauty, and perspective. During his time in Florence, Raphael received many commissions, but they were primarily for smaller private paintings like the portraits of Agnolo and Maddalena Doni and a great series of Madonnas, like the Madonna of Goldfinch, Madonna del Prato, and La Belle Jardiniere. He also completed one of his famous works, the Baglioni altarpiece, also known as the Deposition, where he showcased his technical ability to handle a complex composition with multiple figures and dramatic lighting. This piece created a sense of a calmer and more extroverted style, which was very different from Da Vinci and Michelangelo, who were more into dramatic style. In 1508, Raphael was called to Rome by Pope Julius II at the suggestion of the architect Bramante, who was distantly related to Raphael. Once he arrived in Rome, he was immediately commissioned by the Pope to decorate Stanza della Senatura, one of the Pope's private rooms in the Vatican Palace. In this room, Raphael created 4 frescoes: the Disputa, Parnassus, the Virtues, and finally School of Athens, his most celebrated fresco. The frescoes received praises from the Pope and his contemporaries as they represent a harmonious union of philosophy, theology, science, and art. Raphael's successful execution of the Stanza della Signatura had successfully solidified his reputation as a leading artist in Rome. Later on, the Pope decided to entrust Raphael to decorate the other three rooms, Stanza di Eliodoro, Stanza dell'Incendio del Borgo, and Sala di Costantino. Since it was a massive project, Raphael painted some key portions himself and left other detailed drawings to his assistants. For the frescoes in Stanza dell'Incendio, Raphael provided the overall concept and design. However, the execution was largely done by his assistants and students due to Raphael's early death in 1520. When Pope Julius II died in 1513, he was succeeded by Pope Leo X, who later on would be Raphael's last patron and with whom he formed an even closer relationship. Under his patronage, Raphael was assigned to make a series of 10 tapestries for the lower walls of the Sistine Chapel that illustrate the key episodes of the lives of Saint Peter and Saint Paul. Out of the 10 original designs, only 7 have survived. In 1514, the Pope appointed Raphael as the architect of St. Peter's Basilica due to the death of the previous architect, Bramante. Raphael resumed with the direction of Bramante's work by transforming the plans of the church from a Greek radial design to a Latin longitudinal design. But unfortunately, the redesigning plan was never executed. During his last years, Raphael was at the peak of his career, completing the papal projects and other commissions from other patrons, as well as managing his own workshop. But unfortunately, his artistic potential and exploration had to stop due to his death on April 6, 1520, at the age of 37. Before his death, he was working on the painting Transfiguration, but due to his sudden death, the work was unfinished and later on completed by his assistant Giulio Romano. His funeral was extremely grand and attended by large crowds, including the Pope. His Transfiguration altarpiece was placed at the head of his funeral carriage, highlighting his artistic achievement and the masterpiece he left behind. Raphael's sudden death in 1520 surely brought a significant shock to everyone in Rome, as he wasn't just a talented artist, but a leading figure in the High Renaissance. Although Raphael's life was short, he left us many artworks filled with beauty and lasting influence on artistic movements. His name remains identified with the High Renaissance and continues to inspire artists and art lovers today.